Let's look at example 4. So example 4 says on sheet 2. Well, I don't have a sheet 2. So to get a sheet 2, I need to click on that plus sign next to it. Okay, that'll give me a new sheet and it'll label it sheet 2. Okay. We could turn this one into the page layout view. I'm not going to. You can. It's not required for this second sheet though. All right, so again, we're going to enter some information into our cells. This one says cells A3 through A7. Okay, so in A3, I'm going to do 4A. So again, starting with our equal sign, and then 3, don't forget your multiplication symbol, times parentheses, 6 minus 9, divided by 2, plus 4, end your parentheses, divided by 5. And if we did that correct, we should get 3 3/10 for an answer, so 3.3. There we go. Okay, so for B, notice we have 2 fractions. So each fraction, okay, is going to get its own parentheses. So we're going to have lots of parentheses in this one. So parenthesis, and then so I have a parentheses for the whole fraction, but then a parentheses for my numerator. So it's 9 minus 4 in that parentheses, divided by 6 raised to the second, and then in that parentheses. Oh, I forgot to put my equals at the beginning. There we go. So then we have our numerator, and then the other parentheses, the black ones there, are for the whole fraction. Okay. Plus, and then again, we're going to have parentheses for the whole fraction. All right, but then inside, so parentheses for my first part, or my numerator, 14 plus 2 raised to the 2. Okay. Oh, I'm missing several parentheses, so I need to do parentheses around the 14 plus 2. And then actually, that should be good. And then, yeah. And then divided by, and then parentheses, 2 minus 3. Okay. Now, if I did this correctly, I should get like negative 255 or negative 255. There we go. Negative 255, 861. Okay. So again, we needed several parentheses there with the 2 sets of fractions. Okay. All right. For C, we have a square root. So we need to use the square root function that is in Excel. We can't use a square root symbol. We have to actually type some words. Actually, we use an abbreviation. So SQ, and you can see when I start to type, it likes to give me a list. So we have square root and then square root pi. We don't have square root pi. We're not using pi in our answer. So we're just using this regular square root. So SQRT, and then we're going to put a parenthesis, and whatever number we want to take the square root of, we're putting in the parentheses. So 64,565 goes in parentheses. And in that, and hit enter. There we go, 254.096. Okay, and then our last one to enter, do equals 14 plus 3 times, and then again we have a square root. So SQRT, do our parenthesis, and only what we're taking the square root of goes inside these parentheses. So 39 plus 215, and the rest of that's outside the square root, so I need to end the parentheses. And then we'll do minus 7 raised to the third. And enter. And we get negative 281, and the rest of that decimal there. Again, if I made it wider, it will give me more decimal places, or I can use the increase and decrease decimal up here. Okay, let's look at number 5, our final part for this one. So it says to rename sheet 1 as problem 3. So to do that, if you click there so that it's in double click, and it'll highlight it, and then you can just type problem 3. Okay. If you don't want to double click, if you click on it and then use your mouse and right click, it'll also give you a list of things to do, and renaming is one of those, and it will still highlight it. And we're naming that as problem